All right, Barb, we're
Hey.
here at the store. It's our crafting day today.
I know, isn't that funny? Like, it's like a day off where we came into the store to do some making
I've got a list here of
all the things we're going to make. Woo! She's got a whole list. She's
well, you have to
checking
be
it twice.
You have to be organized, right? So we've got everything we need. We've got, some inspiration. We've got some samples. Oh, we might have a donut, a gingerbread donut with
Where'd you
whipped
get
cream
that
on it.
from? Is that at Tim's?
I drove through the Tim's drive-through on my way here, and I said, "What have you got that's special right now?" And she said, "Oh, we have these donuts that are gingerbread flavored with a little gingerbread cookie and whipped cream." And I said, "I'll take that." Yeah.
It just happened to be gingerbread because our friend Glenda, tell the Glenda story.
Oh, yeah. Glenda, thank you, Glenda. Glenda dropped off this beautiful bottle of coffee enhancer, is what I like to call it. And it's from a local brewery.
And it's gingerbread.
Yeah.
Gingerbread cookie flavor.
I think we have to try it.
Let's crack it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You see if you can peel that seal off. She dropped it off when Barb wasn't here, and I made jokes with Connie, who's here. I said, the cat's away, the mice will drink gingerbread coffee enhancer, but we abstained. We waited until just now. So
I don't know why. I would have cracked it.
But I think it would taste great in the coffee. So
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll get into that one right away.
Okay, so Barb, I gave you a little shot glass
Yeah.
with this. So it's Hanson gingerbread cookie cream liqueur. It's from a distillery just down the street from the store.
Ooh.
And I put some in my coffee.
Yep.
Let's give this a try.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy holidays. Glenda told me that you can infuse whipped cream with this too. Wouldn't that be great on your little donut?
That is so good.
Mm.
Yeah,
It even does a really nice job on my throat.
there we go.
This could be like codeine cough syrup,
That'll put you to sleep.
which you can't get anymore, by the way.
You can get it. You just have to have major surgery or something like that.
Honestly, I think you do because I've asked, my doctor for it, and she looked at me and she said,
Suck
"Oh
it up,
no,
princess."
no, we can't prescribe that anymore. It's that's banned."
They probably are under heavy scrutiny for things like that. But this you can buy at the distillery, and you don't even need to claim it on your health thing. If you can claim it.
Good luck if you can claim it. I want to know how to do that. No, it's really tasty.
It is really good.
Glenda, good job.
Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, now let's
Yeah.
get on with the making. So, what we wanted to talk a little bit about today is the kinds of things that our friends and family like to receive as gifts, things that are just great for winter, doesn't have to
Yes.
be a gift, and then also
Home decor, maybe?
and quick, right? Yeah, quick
Things that are
stuff.
fast.
Do you want to start though? Oh, let's start though with a proper introduction.
Sure.
Okay, it's your turn, I think.
Okay,
So,
all right. Well, for any of you who are here, you probably already know this, but I'm Barb. This is my sister Cynthia, and we run River City Yarns, a local yarn shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And we've been doing this now this is episode 72.
72, yeah. So we do it once a month, and so sometimes there's a bonus episode, but generally once a month. So 72 divided by 12 is 6.
6 years.
Right? I
Yeah.
think it's an even 6, if my
Wow.
math is correct. So, wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot of episodes.
It is a lot of episodes, and it's not, something that we do all the time, but we've done other things too, like we do a lot of classes. So we're on YouTube a lot. We have a couple different channels, like a learning and education kind of channel where we do tutorials.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say we have one channel, but lots of playlists.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's always correcting me.
Well, I don't want people to search for lots of channels. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you're absolutely right. We have several playlists. Yeah, including the podcast.
Yeah. So now that I've completely lost my train of thought, I'm turning it back to you. Enjoy this little.
Oh man, yeah, it's the pesky younger sister going in there and correcting.
You know, when you're my age, you have to get your thought out right away because it just goes.
So Barb, tell me, what have you been working on? Have you got
Yeah.
any finished objects to share?
You know, when you came out with this beautiful wreath this morning, I just thought, oh my gosh, that looks so beautiful. I think about home decor
Yeah.
and about decorating, and I've been decorating too. I mean, I've been making all the gnomes.
Yes.
So my intent with those, and I have a brand new one here too.
Yeah, this is kind of like a very tall gnome.
He is. So he's part of the last one. I showed you my other one last month with the orange striped hat.
Yes.
So these guys are twins. They're both from Sarah Shira's Choose Your Gnome Adventure.
Right. This is the latest mystery gnome. The one I bought the pattern for but haven't started yet.
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
So I made two because I had some hand-painted yarn I wanted to play with, experiment with.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. You got to choose your hat. You got to choose your body, your arms, everything like that.
And this one's got a sweater on.
He does have a sweater. I
With a
showed
shawl
him
collar.
with a shawl collar.
Oh.
And Bud.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have any shoulders, but
No.
but he definitely has a shawl collar. That's lovely.
Look.
Aww.
I'll just put his beard up so you can see his little vest jacket.
Yes.
Yes.
You were saying Ann Bud?
Yeah. Well, you know, the little turned collar was, you know, something inspired by seeing Ann Bud's book and her sweater class.
Oh, good.
And then I put this little guy, he needed feet,
Ah, yes.
just short little tiny ones.
They look like fuzzy foot socks.
Don't they?
Yeah, like little slippers. You know? Aw, he's adorable. So the feet are an addition.
Yes.
Everything else is from the pattern, including the vest? No.
Yeah, sort of. The
Okay.
feet are actually noses.
Oh, cool. Is it the same nose that you chose to put on here?
No.
Or different nose?
Slightly different.
Oh my goodness. So I mean, I have seriously bought the pattern. I just haven't opened it yet. So does she give you multiple noses in the pattern?
I think so.
Okay.
I do have a lot of her patterns though, and I
Yeah.
have them all in one area.
Okay.
So I flip from time to time back through different ones. And this one was kind of like a nose.
Okay.
I also sort of seamed it up tighter
Okay.
so I could sew it on the bottom.
Yeah.
But
That's
Yeah.
really cool, Barb. I'm really impressed with your ingenuity. Yeah.
so he's just a real hodgepodge.
It wasn't on my list to talk about today, but we do have Sarah coming to do a beards and nose class.
Oh,
on
perfect.
nose. Yeah,
Okay.
so we will cover all kinds of beards and noses, bopple noses. But you were saying your intent.
My intent is to line them all up at Christmas and give them to my kids and my grandkids and say, pick which one you'd like.
Nice. And
Yeah.
it's very, this one, I felt it earlier, it's very squishy. So it's like a comforting gnome.
It is. And
Yeah.
you know what else? You showed me the garland that you had this morning that we put out in last year's Advent box.
Oh, yes, the garland made with little bits of yarn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I had one of those, half of one of those, and that's what this guy's stuffed with.
You know, well, I'm
You
going to
can
come
feel
back
it.
to that. Yeah. That's really cool,
Isn't
Barb.
that cool? Great stash buster, too, with unwanted knitwear.
So at the beginning of the year, Sarah Shira described this year, 2021, as the year of gnomes. And you've taken that to heart.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've made at least 12 gnomes.
I think so, at least, yeah. And some of them are quite large. I really like the big guys.
Yeah. You know, if I get invited over and there's a gnome like just, you know, standing there on your mantelpiece saying,
Absolutely.
"Take me home."
Remember, that used to be the thing with Jolly Wee Elves. One year it was Jolly Wee Elves. I still do Christmas trees, though, the little trees, the Jolly Juniper trees.
Yes. Well, that's probably one of our most popular patterns.
I love doing that one.
Speaking of Jolly Juniper trees and of using yarn for stuffing, can I just jump into the holiday ornament balls?
Absolutely.
Because that's one of the things I thought we might make today.
Yes.
I was doing these.
my
I did these
gosh.
last night. Like they're so quick to make.
How did I know you were going to use these colors? I put a kit together with just these colors?
Well, they're very Scandinavian, I sort of
They
feel. So
are.
this kit is, it has the ivory, charcoal, and steel. And so you just, kind of play
That's
around
such a
with it.
cute little pattern. Is that the pattern in the pattern?
It is, yeah. So the
Wow.
pattern is called Christmas ornament balls, and we've put them together in a holiday ornament ball kit because obviously you can use them for any holiday. You could make these in pink and green and have them for Easter,
Yeah.
right? That'd be really nice.
Wouldn't that be cute?
Yeah, and so you can make just a plain ball. You could make a plain ball with tinsel.
Oh, now that's cute.
This is sort of the disco era ornament
Yes,
ball, I think. Like I'm pretty sure I hear John Travolta singing something in the background. And then these ones, there's 2 charted patterns, but you can use any pattern that works on a multiple of 3, 4, 6, 12, anything like that.
So what are the difference? Because I'm thinking, okay, or you could really get into it and get Arnie and Carlos's ball book, 55 Christmas balls, and do some incredible stranded stuff.
Yep.
What's the difference between our ball and Arnie and Carlos's?
So one thing is that ours are smaller.
Okay.
And so they're not so much knitting. The charted patterns, if you like to do stranded color work, the charted patterns are very simple. There's no motifs, it's just on and off designs. You don't have to worry about carrying floats, there's none of that.
That's good. So it looks like it's almost every 2 or 3 stitches you've got to,
Yeah, keep it busy and then you don't have to carry any floats.
Yeah.
And mostly it's that they're smaller, so they're shorter, they're just as round, but they're not as many increases and not as many decreases. And then I did exactly what you were talking about, Barb. I stuffed these with the tails from all my yarn. So I have a little Ziploc bag that I keep near my knitting area, and whenever I snip a tail, I stick it in the bag. And I find those little yarn bits they're great stuffers.
I just threw out a whole little bag of stuff last night.
Yeah,
you should keep it.
Keep it, yeah.
Don't they make great dice too?
Yeah, you could.
Gosh, you could play some sort of game with them.
You might have to square the corners, but sure. The other thing I did with these ones, my little secret trick that only you guys get to know because it's not written in the pattern, is that I'm using 100% wool, right? Because the kits have epic in them.
Yes.
So when I'm done, I hold them over my tea kettle. And I steam them just a little bit.
Why.
And that just plumps up the wool a little bit.
You can see that on the bottom.
Yeah. And so sometimes what I do is I even just prop them on the lid of my tea kettle and let them and rotate them a little bit.
Nice.
But that's what I do instead of washing, and it just plumps up the yarn and evens out the stitches a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't do that with this one because this one is synthetic. You can only do that with 100% wool.
Right. That one looks bigger. Is it just because of the yarn?
It's just because of the yarn. This is that king coal tinsel, and you can't even tell what color's underneath. I'll tell you.
Really?
I'll tell
is
you.
There a different color?
It's the steel that I used underneath, but you can't tell it. So another tip,
Another secret,
just for you guys. I turned this one inside out. So I knit the ball, right, and the purl stitches on the inside. And what happens with eyelash yarns is that the purl, they show up more on the purl side.
I do that with the trees.
Yeah.
Confession.
Yeah.
I turn them inside out.
Yeah. So this one, I knit the whole thing, and then just before I stuffed it, I flipped it inside out, and I worked the last 2 rows in purl stitches.
Wow.
To close it up. I wouldn't have to. I could have done it in knit stitches. But I just did it in purl stitches and then...
It looks more full then.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, this looks good. Are these going on your tree?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Or they might go on a gift. I mean, wouldn't it be fun if you just tied in the little tie on there, put a couple of balls on a gift?
Yes. Or even pom-poms,
Yeah.
Pom-poms are so much fun too to tie onto a gift.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm already getting in the spirit of things.
Oh, good. I'm getting exhausted, so I'm going to have a bite of my donut while you tell me about your other. I see there's another FO here on the table.
Yes. Well, I did. I was busy. And
And it's using your other yarn enhancer.
That's right. So we talked about coffee enhancer. This is using my yarn enhancer, but how about if I show you the kits first?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming out with new kits, and we just got a new shipment in from Rowan. They came out with, I think, 39 new colors this year. They have a total of 85 colors in their line.
In Kid Silk Haze, right? Did we say that? We're talking about Kid Silk Haze?
We're talking about Kid Silk Haze, Rowan Kid Silk Haze.
Okay.
I mean, that's almost opulent,
85 colors is definitely opulent.
right?
I mean,
I mean,
that's a palette even Kay Facet.
if you have
could
a
love.
store in your area that carries all 89, let us know. I want to go there. That's amazing. I think maybe Urban Yarns has all 89.
Urban Yarns is a shop in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Yeah.
And we'll check into that. We'll put a link.
Yeah, and if we don't have it, we highly recommend you look at Urban Yarns because they are a flagship store for Rowan as well, and they've got some great stock in that.
Yeah. Are you going to grab a
Yeah.
kit? Okay.
I'm going to grab a kit.
While Barb does that, I'm just going to explain as well, folks. I know I try to answer all the questions and like all your comments on the underneath of the video that's playing right now. So I just want to let you know that down below here, if you click on the notes section, you'll find links to everything that we talk about in the podcast. And so we'll put a link to Urban Yarns in there, as well as to Sarah Shira at Imagined Landscapes, and to, well, we won't do it to Tim Hortons because you can find that on your own. But yeah, we'll put all the links to everything just in the notes down below.
So we're calling these Kid Silk Haze paint cans because we have these super cute paint cans.
Nice.
These are for our display in the store. And they're sold in triples, like threes. So these are 3 distinct colorways in Kid Silk Haze in a green sort of family. And the idea is that you can use this to make a scarf.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So this is perfect for Church Mouse's color play scarf.
Right.
Or for the mohair bias scarf that's on a bias. It's like a cowl.
Yeah.
There's half a dozen pattern suggestions that I put in the product. They're called Kid Silk Haze paint cans.
Nice.
Or paint boxes, I think we call them.
Okay.
Because I put together a few boxes as well. This one's with neutral shades in it.
And so this has double the amount of yarn?
It says double the amount. So I wanted to put together 6s and 3s.
The nice thing about the 6s is that if you were doing something like the color play scarf from Church Mouse Yarns and Tea, you're double stranding it and trying to find the center. Like if you wanted to pull from the inside and the outside of a ball of Kid Silk Haze,
it can
we
be
might
challenging.
say, yeah.
This way
you might end up in a tangle, right?
This way you've got 2 right to start out with, and then you've got enough. In fact, I just made an easy folded poncho using 6 balls.
Oh, just 6 balls? Nice.
So that's this one right here.
Okay. Oh, Barb.
Later I'll try it on.
Yeah.
Or I can go put it on now. But this
That's
is
beautiful. Here, let me hold this end up.
So this is it. I started off with the ivory or the cream.
Double-stranded?
Yeah, double-stranded. And then I wanted to see what it would look like with black, so something very graphic. And I have to tell you, I love this piece here, this shading, this gray marl here. I could really see doing a sweater in that. It's so pretty.
So you used one of the cream and one of the black?
Yeah.
And then double black?
Then double black.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in the black, I had some fun. I did this on my machine. So I put some lace holes in it. And so so many stitches. And I wore this over a white blouse, and these holes showed up. It was really quite pretty and sort of decorative. And then when you wear it over black, it doesn't show up at all.
Right.
You could run a ribbon through here too.
Oh,
I thought that would be a really nice thing if you wanted to maybe wear it just slightly different, sort of ruched up a little bit on one side. You could give your easy folded poncho another look.
Yeah.
And then I marled the black.
Here, let me hold this for you.
Yeah, with this really beautiful pale pink and got this really kind of pretty pinky gray section.
And then if I flip it over,
Yeah, so then I had 3 balls. One was a really silvery gray. One was a brighter pink, just a little more intensity. And then this one here is just the prettiest color. I forget what it's called, but it's a gray with sort of a brown undertone, a pinky taupey undertone to it. And so I just did the same thing. I just marled. So I worked 2 colors, 2 strands of one color, and then 1 strand of that color and the next color, and so on, and then back to 2 of that color until I was pretty much out of yarn. I had a little bit of white left over. I didn't want to put too much white in it because we're coming on to fall now. So, but I love the idea of pinks and grays together. I just think they go really well with things. And this black and white was sort of like the graphic.
I think what we'll do is, we'll once we take a little break here, we'll get a mannequin. We'll pop it on, just put it behind us here.
For
and
sure.
then during the podcast, we'll turn it around. So keep tuned to see all the different styles the mannequin shows you.
What do you think of the feel, though, Cynthia?
It's light as a cloud.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So you used 6 balls of kid silk haze. So that's
double-stranded.
That's only 150 grams.
Yeah.
Altogether. So that's really lightweight.
And yet, this last night, I was seaming it up.
Yes.
And it was on my lap. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you wanted to do a blanket out of double or even triple kid silk haze.
Feels like whipped cream. But that, so it traps so much air, right? That you get that insulating warmth from it.
I have another blanket at home too where I used 2 strands of kid silk haze and 1 strand of a lace weight from Juniper Moon. Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite blankets too.
Yeah.
So if you have any other yarns at home you want to do some color play with, this is a great place. So we've got some lovely different colors too. We have some brights. Oh, that one's really pretty. That's sort of like this one.
Okay.
Where we've got just a really hot, vibrant pink and a hot orange, and then this really chartreusey, I think it's called Eve's Green.
Nice.
I have a couple blue palettes. So this is a navy through to a light blue with a medium blue in the middle. I just wanted to put one lighter color, one darker in some of them, so that there'd be some contrast.
Yeah. And they're all boxed up, really nice. So if you wanted to make a gift, this would be a nice color combination. But if you wanted to give it as a gift, it's like pre-wrapped almost.
Well, and I was thinking about calling them birthday cakes because they're in a little birthday cake box.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it would be lovely as a gift, wouldn't it? And then there are more colors, but I'll just show you this last one. This last one was really pretty.
Yeah.
And I think there's a brand new color in this one of the teals.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Hard to decide.
I know.
So all the boxes, all the colors in the boxes have been hand-picked by Barb. You can't go wrong. You just blindly put one in your, pick your favorite color and just put that in your cart. And so there's a combination of 3s and 6s. And these paint cans that we're showing right now are display only.
Right, yeah.
Okay. They ship better in the box. And
They do.
So the 3s will come in boxes as well, Barb?
The 3s, will come in boxes as well.
And those are called Kid Silk Haze paint boxes. And again, I'll put a link to them just down below in the show notes. So take a look for that and you'll find it there. Those are really soft neutrals. That's gorgeous.
I'd be happy to ship a little paint can if anybody would like. For the first 5 people that order, how about that? Because I only have 5 of them.
All right, folks, a podcast only. If you put paint can in your notes on your order, Barb will repackage it into a paint can for the first 5 people. All right, so yeah, only you guys get to know about that. Okay? Okay. All right, in the spirit of making, we talked a little bit about holiday ornament balls.
Yeah, show me what else you've been making.
Hey. Well,
You've got squares.
I've got, yes, I do. Thank you. Yarnicorn. Are you okay to talk about Yarnicorn
Sure.
now? Okay.
Yes.
Last month, we weren't able to talk about Yarnicorn because we hadn't received the Yarnicorn yet.
Yeah.
And so we did a separate little video on it, but we do try to talk about Yarnicorn each month.
Yeah.
So Yarnicorn is our once a month, very special, one of a kind yarn offering that we put out for purchase on the 20th of each month.
And it has a charity component with it too.
Exactly, yeah. And so each month, Barb and I have been absconding one skein of the precious yarn because it sells out really fast. And we've been making a blanket. We call this the Making Memories blanket. And at the end of it all, I'm going to have a blanket with 12 squares. Barb's maybe bigger.
Slightly.
And I've been joining them up as I go. And so I've got my latest square in here. Let's hold it this way. And hold it way up. There's the Yarnicorn from November, which was called Hidden Gem. And I used the Brights. I think it's called Brights in the green.
Rare green.
Rare greens, right. And I paired it up with a blue to make the 11th square in my blanket.
Oh,
so
there's one more month left.
Yeah, this month we'll put one more in there, and then I'm going to use what's left of December and early January to put a border on this. And then we're going to come up with a little fundraiser with the blankets.
It'd be fun to have an auction and auction it off for charity.
Yeah, and we've done some really fun fundraising for different charities throughout the year. And so this is my latest block here, and I think you brought yours too.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about the charity a little bit.
Sure.
This one was inspired by a rare gem to Alberta, and it's called amolite. And it's only found in southern Alberta in quantities large enough to be able to manufacture or to do something with. And it's actually made from mollusks. Back in the dinosaur age, these formations were found a lot in southern Alberta. And I think our native people actually found them and used them for barter and all kinds. There's great stories online about them. And so there's an association called the Nature Conservatory. And that's who we're donating $2 from every skein goes to them to help fund some of the work that they do.
Nice.
And we still have a little bit of this left. So if anybody would like one of these, this is kind of what it looks like. And you can pair it with anything in your stash. Cynthia paired it with a bright blue. But this is such a great cause. We encourage you to look at it and buy some yarn that does some good things for other people. And I did mine with, I had a skein of this left over from my sweater. This is Brooklyn Tweed Peary in a beautiful colorway called Mesa.
It does. It definitely looks like that.
It does. It has this brick kind of look to it, doesn't it? And I thought, oh, it's going to look really good with these bright pops of orange in here. This has got some bright blues and greens too, so yours looks amazing with it.
Yeah.
But don't they look different?
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. Here, you hold that one. I'll hold up this one.
Totally different look. So no matter what your palette is, I think you can find something to do with this pattern. Yeah. I normally knit 2 of these because they're so addictive. You start one and get it done.
Where's your pile?
Oh.
Is it right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Barb's got this huge pile. There we go.
Who's addicted?
So you've done your squares in 1s or 2s, and then you're going to piece them together to do your blanket or blankets.
To wait and see kind of what the palettes were, like what came out of our Yarnicorn, because it's always a surprise.
It is.
Even when we think we know what we're getting, sometimes we don't know. And so I might just put this one next to this one.
Right. You still piece it out on a table and then maybe use something like a slip stitch crochet to join them together.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
We happen to have a tutorial video on that.
Okay, that's
on one of our
handy.
playlists.
Not one of our channels. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the next one more square to go, and then we're sewing these all together.
Yeah. Do you want to show the yarnicorn for?
Okay.
Because
Well,
it just arrived.
I know. You want to see it?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So here, you can unpackage it. This just came in. I just opened it up to have a quick peek.
Okay.
And I'll talk a little bit about the inspiration. This is
right.
called Odd One Out. And this is all about being sort of like the odd one out in a group. Somebody who stands out for whatever reason.
Oh.
And Jana immediately picked up on this, and it reminded her of a time where she was invited to this kind of party, and it turned out being, I have to make sure I get the story right, but she ended up dressing up like gala because she thought it was,
Like a black tie or
yeah, beautiful black dress with a bright pink bow or something on it, like.
Yeah.
And she got there and it was completely different.
Oh, it's more casual?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't at all what, but this is all about standing out and being the odd one out.
I love it.
And this just reminded her.
That's so gorgeous. I'll hand it back to you now. Okay. This is, again, on the Eden base.
Yeah.
This is so soft.
I know,
just
isn't
can't get over it. And when I was working it with my square, I was using a double strand of fingering weight with a single strand of Eden, and it just worked so nicely
Works
together.
perfectly in the Mitered Memories blanket.
Cannot tell you how soft this is. There's 10% cashmere in here,
Yeah.
and the superwash merino is it's just luxurious and gorgeous.
Yeah.
And that dash of pink, I can't wait to see what that
I know.
shows up like in the
Yeah.
in the knitted project.
I think it's
or
gonna be-
crocheted project.
Similar to this, but different. I think you're going to actually get 3 or 4 stitches.
Wouldn't it be cool to do a stacking project with this?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. So stacking is when you figure out, how many stitches, or like you can do this with crochet too, but how many stitches you need to go around one rotation of the skein, so that when you work your project, that those colors stack on top of each other.
Yeah.
Or you could use, Carolyn's kind of idea, which is whenever you reach that color, you do a different stitch.
Yeah.
Make it a purl stitch instead of a knit stitch, or make it a dropped stitch instead of a knit stitch. And again, in crochet, you could, every time you come across one of those, you could do a single crochet instead of doubles or something like that.
Or, yeah, a drop stitch would be lovely too, wouldn't it? Where you yarn around the needle a few times.
Yeah.
The other thing about this, Cynthia, is this looks like black, but it's not really. It's a real sort of dark, deep gray
Yeah.
with a blue undertone to it.
Yeah, I was going to say almost like a lavender purplish
Yes.
undertone, hey?
It's so pretty.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my. So how many of these
Would
are we
go
going
so
to get?
nicely. We haven't actually confirmed it yet,
Okay.
but I think we got to go big because this is our last one
It
of
is.
the year.
It is. So
And you probably want 3 or 4 of
I
them.
probably do. Yeah. So we've put a time limit on Yarnicorn. This will be the December 20th is when we're going to put this out on the website for purchase, and it will be our last Yarnicorn of 2022 and our last of this kind of flash mob series. So
Yeah.
you
We're gonna-
definitely want to get one of these.
Yeah. We'll do something else, something different, new.
We're always inventing, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Barb, this is such
Isn't
a
that
lovely little
lovely?
bundle.
I know.
Thank you for sharing that with me. It's like,
Well, thank you, Jana, for sending us samples. This
What a
is
great
so
idea.
great.
Yeah.
We'll get on this right away and make something spectacular.
yeah.
And then wait for the rest of it to come.
Oh, man. Okay, so talking about Eden reminds me of another project or program or what would you like to call it? I'm going to put my little bundle right
Yeah.
here. called the Making Memories box.
Yes.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the intent behind that one, Cynthia.
Or it's just
I would,
gonna- yeah.
I would do it, but my throat's really sore.
In previous years, Barb and I have put together these Advent boxes, and they have been a labor of love, but definitely a labor. We would package up 24 little gifts in a box, and every day of December you could open one up. And this year we decided we couldn't. We don't have the staff. We didn't have the supplies. We
tried.
We did.
We tried really hard.
Yeah. And even last year, we had to delay shipping out some of our boxes because we were waiting on the last component for the box. So this year, we decided to do something different, and I really like what we did. It was a lot of fun. So we talked with Jenna at Handmaiden. We asked her if she would do something special with Eden and create a yarn box, basically. And then we talked to 5 of our friends and we said, would you contribute a pattern to this box? We said we'd like it to be a pattern that you've already published. We don't want you to go to a lot of work, but we'd like to send you some Eden and have you knit it up in the colors. And our friend said, sure, we'll do that. No problem.
I already have a pattern that works for worsted weight. Or I think that box would look great in this or that. So
some of our friends had to go to a little bit more work than I think they anticipated. And so we want to say a very special thank you to the designers. We've got these Making Memory boxes, and they come with 5 skeins of yarn. One is a full skein of Eden, so it's 120 grams of Eden, and then there are 4 half skeins of Eden, so there'll be 60 gram skeins of Eden in 4 different colors. So in total you get 5 skeins and 5 different colors. And so we talked to our friends and we said, what do you think? Like what have you got that would use this weight of yarn and would look really, really good, right?
yeah.
So let's go through them.
The first one is Holly, and Holly came up with a couple of ideas, but we sort of settled on this one.
Yeah.
Quadra hat.
Yeah.
And we settled on this one because Cynthia and I have both knit this before in Eden yarn, and we fell in love with it. It's such a fun pattern. Doesn't that look great?
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful pattern, and it uses mosaic knitting, which is like a slip stitch color work. So not hard to do. You got to follow the pattern a little bit.
Yeah.
And you could knit it plain if you wanted to. And it takes very little yarn.
It feels so beautiful. That's the Eden yarn for you. And it came in this pack. So Holly got this one called Cranberry. So we're showing this to you because we happen to have a few of these.
Right.
And well, at the time of filming, we don't know if we'll still have them. But
when you're watching.
when you're watching, and our Black Friday sale's kind of in progress, so these may be gone. But this is an example, I think, of what we might do in the new year next time. You know?
Yeah, yeah. So if you're not able to get Making Memories box, these patterns are available separately from the designers, and you can always use Eden. You know, we did this with leftover Eden before, right? We had a stash of Eden from other projects, and so we just put some color combinations together. But
This way
is
you
cranberry.
don't have to worry.
Exactly.
You know, you've got colors that go with each other. They've all been dyed specifically to enhance one another. And Jana also used the principle of a light color, a dark color, and then, you know, 3 others that would go well.
Yeah.
So that you could do color work. I just want to say, isn't that model beautiful?
She's gorgeous. This is my daughter, one of my beautiful daughters.
Yeah. Okay. So then we have this one.
Yeah, Bayview Mittens, which is by Fiona Ellis, and we don't have the sample for that one because Fiona has them.
Okay.
And we're each gonna make a pair.
Yes.
Because this is again lovely. So the Bayview Mittens use color work in the mittens, and Fiona adjusted this pattern to include more sizing. And to make it, so you can make it for kids, you can make it for grown men, you can use the color charts in whatever way you want. and the color combinations in whatever way you want.
Those are so pretty.
So in this sample, Fiona used all the colors in the Holiday Making Memories box, but you could just do it in 2 colors too, and that would look really nice as well.
You could.
The Eden Delight Cowl.
So you can show folks what this package looks like that Fiona got, because Anne got the same package, didn't she?
Right. So uses the same colors. So the Bayview mittens, the colors that Fiona used were the same as in this cowl.
But she used them in a different way, you know, so she took the navy.
I'm going to do this. Yeah, go ahead. She took the navy.
She took the navy and used that for, I think, her cuff. Oh.
The tips.
The tips of the thumbs and the fingers. And then also for the corrugated ribbing. And it just showcased everything off.
Fiona's done some really interesting detail in the cuff using pearl stitches and stranding in the front to create almost like a bracelet around your wrist. So I really love these patterns. When you see them on Ravelry, like if you purchase this pattern on Ravelry, you might also see another combination that she did in a different yarn. So these ones are on Ravelry as well, the photo.
And the kit looks like this. This one was called Ice Queen. So this one was icy blues, deep blues, a bright blue, a very, very soft, icy pink, and almost like a frozen color, and then this little pop of purple color.
Yeah. And then Anne Budd had a pattern online called the Hygge cowl, Hygge Delight cowl.
Yeah.
And we asked her if we could convert that into the Eden Delight cowl.
Yeah.
So I think she may be republishing this one. I'll again put links to all these patterns in the show notes for you in case you want to purchase any of the individual patterns from the designer. This one's done in the round.
So much fun. So you can hide your ends. You don't have to weave them in even if you didn't want to.
Right, because it utilizes 4-row stripes. So it is a good idea in some cases to cut your yarn. And yes, it's done completely in the round, so there's no wrong side.
And it's using slip stitches.
Yes, yeah. Every time you change colors, you use a slip stitch motif to break up the stripes in the color.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it creates a nice gradient kind of effect. And this isn't using the whole kit either, this cowl. Yeah.
There's some left over.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, it feels so nice.
So you could make the cowl longer, you could make it shorter, you can make it, you could make it with 2 colors instead of all 5.
This is the perfect length though. You know, you can wear it over top of your coat.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's almost like you could fold it over.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different ways to style it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it just feels amazing.
It does.
Yeah. And again, it's the weight, so it's partly the softness of the yarn, but it's also the weight of the yarn. You know, it just gives you this nice comforting kind of feeling around your neck.
So do you think that you'd have enough left over to do Kate's pattern?
Absolutely. So Kate Atherley, now this one I'm going to have to ask Kate if she's planning to publish this pattern.
Okay.
These are called Cozy at Home socks, and Kate knit up some samples for us. She utilized different colored heels and toes in these socks.
And she had a cranberry kit too.
And she's done some 1-row stripes with this one, 2-row stripes with this one. And just little, you know, sort of like academic stripes with this one. Isn't that adorable? So again, this pattern comes with sizes for every member of your family. And you could, and then Barb, you've done some in a different colorway of Eden.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I did a pair in Ice Queen.
That's right.
In that really pretty lavender, sort of like this.
Yes.
And they turned out beautiful. And then I had leftovers from the last Yarnicorn.
Right.
And so I used them for a pair of slippers for me.
That's really nice. So yeah, they're really cozy socks. You can put them on while you're, you know, prop your feet up in front of the fireplace, enjoy rum eggnog, and just be really cozy and festive. Yeah.
Super easy to make.
Yeah. So that's Kate Atherley. She's kind of like the sock queen. Oh, and then we asked Carissa Browning if she would do a pattern for us. And we don't have that sample either. It's with Carissa. But she did this. It's her Road Warrior pattern. And she used the kit, I think almost the complete kit. In the pattern it says knit until you're run out of yarn or you're just done. So you can use up the entire kit in this Road Warrior pattern.
And this was the colorway. This was called Winter Mountain. And this one was kind of totally Jana's kind of color
Take?
Yeah. So she had one, the big skein is a real dark, intense blue. It's not navy. It's got a lot of color in it, but it's quite dark. And then we have a really light, frosty sort of blue, I'd say greeny blue. And then we've got this color here, which I liken to another one of hers called mink. It's just a beautiful taupe sort of shade. And then this teal blue medium intensity colorway, and then a medium to dark navy.
That's lovely. So those are the 5 patterns. That's the Making Memories box, and you can use the patterns. You can use 1, you can use 2, you can use 3. You could make a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Wendy told me she's knitting them all. She's going to start with Road Warrior, and then she's going to move on, but she's going to use them all with either with Eden or with other things that are in her stash.
Yeah,
so she said she loved every single one of them.
Perfect.
Isn't that nice?
That's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, you get all 5 patterns with the yarn. You can buy them today in singles, so 1 colorway, and we have 2 packs left of triples.
At this time. Okay.
I couldn't believe how popular the triples were. Like 1 of each shade.
You can't decide, right? And what a great stash enhancement
and
it is.
a Christmas gift for yourself, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put that there just so it gets back in the box.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Right. So what else do we have?
Let's see. Well, what I'm working on right now are fuzzy foot socks. I've been having a ton of fun with fuzzy foot socks. So this is part of the original, one of our original designs where we use the HBC colors in the fuzzy foot sock pattern. And then
A felted slipper.
For holidays, For holidays, we thought, wouldn't it be fun to kind of make them a little more elfish? And then we just recently released a video that's on 2 of our playlists. And it's about how to felt the slipper, sort of the process that you go through and how to shape it and stuff like that. So I thought maybe it might be nice to bring this back out and show people just kind of a festive edition. But I'm just making some
Those are so cute.
Plain ones. I've got one here. This one's made out of Rowan Kid Classic.
Oh wow!
And so
Cynthia,
you get a little,
seen these yet.
you get a little mohair in there, and it makes it really fuzzy and soft.
Oh my gosh, these are cute.
Aren't they adorable?
I love them. What colorway? Just 1 or 2?
This is 2. So this is like a lavender and a gray mixed together.
Oh wow!
And I just marled the whole thing. And then this one, I'm working on the second one right now. This one's done with Rowan Norwegian wool.
Oh.
And I held 3 strands together. Feel how thick that is.
Yes.
And so I was trying a little bit of different marling. I used 2 strands of green and 1 of the blue on the heel and toe, and then 2 strands of blue and 1 green on the foot. And this one I'm doing with 3 strands of blue, and then I'll add in some green, because you can do that, right? When you've got 3 strands going, you can.
What size needles are you using?
These are done on 8mm needles.
Okay.
And you want to have like a chunky weight yarn. You want to be able to see air between the stitches when you're knitting them for felting. And then when you felt it, that gives the fiber, the scales on the fiber, room to kind of rub together and to mat and create that felted fabric.
So wow, Norwegian wool is a great yarn to use then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've used all kinds of, so we use Epic. This one's done with a double strand of Epic.
Okay.
This one's done with 2 strands, I believe. Or
Of Kid
3.
Classic?
Yes. And then this one's done with 3 strands of Norwegian wool. And I'm going to try next Norwegian wool plus Kid Classic.
Ah.
And see if, see what that combination
Yeah,
looks like. Get a
maybe
little bit of
just-
the fuzz and a little bit of the depth of color and the,
The thickness.
yeah.
This one's really woolly wool. This
is.
This one has a softer. Is there alpaca in Kid Classic?
I think it's mohair and wool, I think.
Okay.
I do have it here. Hang on a second.
Oh.
I will tell you.
It
Oops.
just has a very, very soft feel to it.
Kid Classic is made with lamb's wool and kid mohair.
Lamb's wool, which is softer than.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel this original ball,
Oh, yeah.
right? And then here's the Norwegian wool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
different sheep,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
Lamb's.
Well, and that's also mohair added
Yes,
to it,
yeah.
which will make it softer too. Yeah.
And still felts. I'm really impressed with this.
Yeah, I over felted that one a little bit. So it fits my foot, but it's a little snug. And so you have to be careful in the felting process. You have to stop and try it on and don't over felt it.
Oh, I want to
you
make
want
a
to pick.
pair of these. These
Aren't they
look
gorgeous?
so great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be fun to stripe them too?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Lots of fun you can have with it.
Yeah. And do these fit you?
Yes, these ones fit me perfectly.
Wow, look at the difference in size.
Yeah. So this is just, I put it in one cycle too long.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And once it's felted, I can get it wet and try and stretch it, but once it's felted, it's pretty felted.
Yeah.
So you have to keep an eye on it and try not to over felt it. But it'll fit a smaller foot than mine, and there are plenty of those around. Yeah.
You could put a little pom-pom at the back to
Yes.
help it keep on your foot,
There's no problem. Yeah, no problem
don't
with
have-
this one. No, no. What's tricky about these felted slippers is making sure that the instep stays wide enough. Because if you fold it flat, you think, oh, are you sure that instep looks pretty big? But then when you put it on your foot, you say,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this fits perfectly. Yeah.
Nice shape.
Yeah, so the fuzzy foot socks is the pattern for the felted slippers, and then we have an addendum as well. Yes, you can definitely, what you could do is use that synthetic fiber when you cast on,
Oh, yeah.
and then after you felt it, it'll be embedded in the trim around the edge of the
Oh, that would be
fuzzy foot
cute
sock.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many
So
things.
that's what I've been working on. We do have kits for the fuzzy foot socks as well. So if anybody wants to do that, it includes the pattern and the addendum.
That's lovely.
yeah.
The addendum for the elf,
Yeah, this
because
is-
the toes are a little different, isn't it?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been working on.
So make some for some of the elves in your family.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Lovely.
And then we are doing a class for Rowan Connect in the new year on making felted slippers. So if you wanted to join us for that,
And on repairing socks.
yes. Yes.
I'm really excited about that one because I happen to have an entire bag full of socks that need repair.
Why, thank you, Barb. Why, thank you.
I just thought, just in case you needed some demos.
There's another kit that's really fun and something that we've already completed, and that's the chocolate mousse hat.
Oh, this is a special one.
This is a special one. This is a gift
Yeah.
that we've made. But I wanted to tell folks that we did 2 hats from 3 balls of yarn.
It's just amazing the meterage on Epic.
Yeah, yeah. So this is Ann Budd's chocolate mousse hat. This one's done in the adult medium size. And so you've got a couple of mousse and a few snowflakes on there. And then we did another one in a slightly bigger size. This is the adult large size. And this one, by request, we did without snowflakes. There's just
Kissing mousse.
kissing mousse all the way around. So we're giving these as a present, and we just wanted to show them to you. This is a fun pattern. These are done in the, this is marine blue and camel, but you could do these in any color combination you want. And what's so cool about this hat from Anne is that it starts with a liner. And so you knit this ribbed liner, then you do a turning row, then you do your color work, and then you do another little edging row here, and then you knit the top of the hat. And when you're done, you turn it inside out. Well, we washed it first, and then you turn it inside out and you just whip stitch the edging up inside the hat. So it creates almost a triple layer of wool around your ears. Triple because you've got that inner liner, and then you've got all the stranding that's happening behind the seams here as you work the color work one.
Super warm hat.
Yeah. If you wanted to, you could cut a narrow piece of like polar fleece and insert it in here as like a headband before you sew it up. And that would create even more warmth if you're, but this is pretty, it's pretty warm, and it fits perfectly. It just fits around the ears perfectly. So the chocolate mousse hat, we definitely recommend as a project if you want to have something festive and wintry and warm and beautiful gift for anyone on your list. Yeah, so the kits, we have kits for these too, and they come with 2 balls of Epic, but the contrasting color.
Third.
Yeah, just pop in a third of the main color, or 1 extra ball of the main color, and you can get 2 hats done. In fact, this is the leftovers.
Oh my gosh.
So of the 3 balls, we still have quite a bit of the camel left. It's possible, Barb, I think it's possible that we could do a third hat.
Yes.
Reversing the colors.
Wow.
I don't know for sure because I haven't tried it out, and it might have to be the smallest version, but look at that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, chocolate mousse hat, love it. It's a really popular project and really nice. And again, you could put other patterns on here. And the last thing is, I think it would also be kind of cool. I think I've said this before. To use this part of the pattern as the cuff of a mitten, and then you could have matching mittens. Wouldn't that be nice? We don't want to forget about our crochet friends either. So when we talk about felting projects, we also have a fun one that is crocheted. Do you remember these?
Yes. Yeah.
We call these the little bird pouch kit, and it's a little case.
Found those.
Yeah, we have them all packaged up, ready to go. So you have all the materials in here except for the crochet hook. There's a pattern, there's a button for the closure, and there's a hand crocheted little bird in each package.
By Britta.
Yeah, Britta Gutling from Studio Britta. She's a local maker here. And these,
she hand crocheted each of these.
Yeah, you can make them big enough to fit your cell phone. You can make them, they work for eyeglasses. My cell phone has one of those rubber things on it to keep it from sliding around too much, but I can put it in here.
Oh yeah, it fits mine perfectly.
Then you have a case for your cell phone, and it's felted. So again, you're doing the same thing. You're crocheting, and then you're going to pop this in the washing machine and shrink it up, sew your little bird on, and you're good to go.
And your button?
And your button.
Yeah. So another project that you can throw in the washing machine and felt.
Easy peasy. Yeah.
Great gifts too, right? For anybody who maybe wears glasses or sunglasses or...
Everybody's got a cell phone.
Their cell phone, yeah.
I mean, you can make it longer, you can make it shorter, you could make it into a little change purse if you wanted to. There's lots of options that way. You keep going until it's as tall as you want, and then you put the little...
done in no time.
Yeah, yeah. And this is done with our Epic yarn, so it's felts really nicely, creates a nice thick fabric. So that's
the charcoal color, right? I'm surprised at how fuzzy it is.
Yeah, it's a
natural.
Yeah, some fibers will felt more. Some you'll still see the stitch definition, and I don't mind that, seeing the stitch definition in there.
Well, and this is crocheted too.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're getting those crochet ridges.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Slightly different look. Yeah. So it makes a nice gift if you want to give it. But if you know a crocheter and you like to give them something that is complete, in the sense that you can give them a kit that has the yarn, the pattern, the crocheted bird, all those items, then this is definitely for you too. It's called the Little Bird pouch. And we have kits. We have a few kits, not too many left.
Right.
So get it now. And again, add in an extra ball of Epic, and then you can make several because you'll have the pattern. Yeah. We also drew a winner.
Yes.
For our shawl pin prize.
For this one.
I have another one here. So we picked a random number, and we picked Brenda Selanders. And Brenda wrote for her comment that the shawl pin is truly beautiful. I would wear it on a shawl that has been draped around the neck of an outdoor coat.
Nice.
That's a really stylish way to up your winter, your winter coat. Put a shawl on the outside.
I read some of the comments too, Cynthia, and thank you to everyone who made comments, because there were some wonderful styling ideas in there.
Yeah.
Great.
And so we thought we'd do it again.
Yeah.
This month, same thing. We have a second pin that we'd like to give away. So we've got one sitting up here on the easy folded poncho that Barb did, and this one's going to Brenda. So what would you like people to comment on?
Let's keep going with styling ideas.
Okay.
Can we include everybody who commented last time, or is it start over?
Oh, it's a little bit easier for me to go through the comments on each podcast separately.
Okay.
So let's do a new one, and that will increase your chances, right? Because you'll be in a smaller pool. So if you commented on the last one, comment on this one again, right? Yeah. So any comment works. You don't have to comment in any specific way. We do actually count all the comments on the podcast. So if you'd rather tell us about something else, we're happy to hear that too.
We're just grateful for you to subscribe to our channel and to watch and, keep inspiring us to go forward with ideas and suggestions.
And leaving comments is really, it's really meaningful. We read them all, we try to respond to them all. Sometimes it takes a couple of weeks before we get around to them, but we go through and we respond to each and every one of them, and we love them. So thank you for doing that. We really appreciate it. And thank you for being here with us. That's really kind, and we're humbled by the fact that sometimes you say how much this podcast means to you, and that just kind of brings a tear to my eye and makes me feel really good. So thank you.
We also encourage you to pop over to our website and sign up for some of the other events that we have, because we're doing lots of classes. It's a great way to invest in your learning. It doesn't take any effort, or you don't have to leave home or drive anywhere. But it's a great support for us and for the designers who teach. Yeah. And we really encourage you to sign up for that too.
Yeah, thanks. That's a really nice segue, Barb. I wanted to, tell everyone what's coming up this month.
Okay, great.
And a little bit into January, not too much, because we'll have another podcast in January.
Yeah, so what do we have going on?
Yeah, I'm really excited, Barb. We have Carissa Browning coming.
I love her.
In December. Yes, she's coming in December and in January. She's doing 3 classes for us, but the first one is kind of like everybody's nemesis. It's an introduction to brioche.
Oh, okay, I'll be signing up for that. I've only taken 22 brioche classes, and I need another one.
Well, I think that the key to it is having somebody explain it, taking on a project that's not too tricky right at the beginning. Yeah. And so Carissa's going to come. She's going to explain how to do 2-color brioche. And because actually that's the easiest way to learn brioche, is to use 2 colors. And she's going to have you cast on for a cowl, and then you can keep working on it and become more familiar with it.
So there's no increases or decreases?
Correct.
So that's why it's easy. Okay.
And she's going to show you how to fix mistakes. Carissa knows what the most common mistakes are that happen in brioche, and you're probably going to make them in class. But even if you don't, she's going to say, okay, so when this happens, here's how you fix it.
Great.
And so she's got a lovely calm voice and a great demeanor. She takes all the anxiety out of working with 2 colors and doing the brioche stitch.
Fantastic.
And then
will you have her back for an advanced one?
We could. We'll see how this one goes, and then I'll poll the participants and see if they'd like to do a more advanced one. Yeah.
She's wonderful. I took her Yip Yip class.
Well, that's coming up too, because we think, yeah. So for crocheters, she's got this great class we call Crochet a Mini Yip Yip. And for those of you who don't know what a Yip Yip is, what is it, Barb?
Oh, it's the cutest little thing. It's from Sesame Street. It's just a little creature that,
Kind of like a Martian?
yeah, and with big eyes. And I made them all last year for my grandkids, and they've all picked their favorite, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So this one will cover sort of concepts in crochet, like working in a spiral, doing turning rounds, creating a kind of a rounded, curved head.
Yeah.
Chris is going to go through all those with you, and you can crochet a tiny or a mini Yip Yip in the 3-hour session.
She's got big ones too.
She does. And
You
they
can make them huge.
Yep, and they're knitted. All you have to do is go on to Ravelry and look at Carissa Browning, and you'll see all of her patterns. She does a lot of that where, for example, her Wonder Woman shawl, there's a knit version and a crocheted version. So
I think with the Road Warrior, there was one too, wasn't there?
there might be. I'm not sure about that, but that could be. And then she's coming back in January to do a class called Breaking Plaid. And folks, this one is really a great one as well. Because this combines marling, which we love, and double knitting, which we also love. But again, double knitting is one of those things that it's kind of hard to get your head around until Carissa explains it to you.
Yeah.
So this will help you to create plaid by using those two knitting techniques together.
Yeah.
And so this is a great class.
And
you should.
plaid is just so eye-catching, Cynthia. We did that plaid runner a couple Christmases ago.
Yeah.
And that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Did Carissa publish the pattern for that runner?
So it's kind of in the Breaking Plaid pattern.
Class?
So
Okay.
in the Breaking Plaid pattern, which you can purchase on Ravelry, you can do a cowl or you can do a scarf. And so basically what we did was take the point of the cowl and
brilliant.
add it to the scarf to do the table runner. So it's kind of in there. But yeah.
You could have another holiday decor item. That would look beautiful on a table.
Now the class that Chris is teaching is coming up in January.
Okay.
So I think
For Christmas 2024.
well, I think actually it's a great gift to give someone.
Ah, yes.
Give them the gift of this class with Carissa Browning. And, for any knitter, you don't have to have a ton of skill. You can be, say, an advanced beginner or an adventurous beginner, and you can do marling. That's not hard. And the double knitting, and as Chris explains, it's not hard either. So keep that in mind as a Christmas present for someone you know. And
I think it's always good to stretch your ability, even if you can't do it right at the time.
Right.
You kind of store it up in here, right?
Yeah.
And then when you see it 6 months from now or a year from now, you can say, oh yeah, I remember I took a class where we did something similar to that.
Yeah.
I think knitting and crochet is an evolution.
Yeah, I agree. I think sometimes we take classes and we expect that we're going to come out with a project at the end of it, and that's the end of it. We're just going to do that from now on. But we don't. We're on to the next thing always. So I think what's great about our online classes, Barb, is that they're recorded. So again, you know what, if you fall behind or a concept's broached and Carissa shows you how to fix brioche, but you think, I don't know if I really get that.
Yeah.
You have a week to watch it again.
That's so great.
And I think that week deadline, I know it's only 7 days, but I think that week-long deadline will help to give you the motivation to finish your class project.
Plus an excuse to put something else away and get started on something new.
Yeah.
Right? You've got that 1 week to watch it and watch it again and watch it one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of really intriguing things as well, we participate in Fiberside Chats. And there's, I think she's Danish or Swedish, I can't remember now. She's Scandinavian, and her name is Åsa Tricosa. And she's coming to a Fiberside Chat.
I've seen her on Ravelry.
She does this thing called ziggurats.
Yes.
And it's really amazing. So December 11th, she'll be on Fiberside Chats. And again, Fiberside Chats is run through our friends at Longmont Yarn Shop. And it's
And
just
we're
a
an
chat.
affiliate.
Yeah, yeah. So if you sign up on their website, but choose us as your local yarn shop, we get a little bit of the registration fee comes back to us. But we love to promote it because it's such a good program.
Such great learning. Can you just tell us a little bit about what Zigat is?
Well, what I'm gonna say is that you should go to our website and have a look, because we've got a little video embedded in there where Osa will tell you exactly what they are. And she does a much better job than I do. The Fiberside chats are $20 US. It works out to about $25 Canadian. And it's a great way to learn about a designer that you might not otherwise know. You know, if you don't recognize the name, I think that really means that you should check it out. You should come and join in, because I've learned about so many interesting and intriguing people.
Yes.
In fact, I'm getting a knitting book for Christmas based on a previous Fiberside chat. I just said to my husband, you know, this guy has beautiful patterns, and I think I'd really like that book for Christmas. So, you know, it's a great way to expand your horizons.
Yes.
And it's not just knitting, it's crocheting as well. And sometimes it's a tour of a museum. Sometimes it's just world travel.
Or stories from, you know, Newfoundland.
Yeah. That was the one that we just finished. It was the visit to Newfoundland with Shirley Scott and Christine Legros.
We highly try and influence Canadian content.
We do. I think we've been pretty successful with that too.
I do.
Yeah. We also have, again, this is really exciting, folks. It's coming up in January, but we have Ann Budd coming back to do top-down socks. Ann Budd, again, is another one of those instructors whose tone of voice.
So knowledgeable.
Yes. And calming.
Yeah.
You know, she's just...
She doesn't get flustered.
She does not. Even
we try.
Even when things happen. We had a session with Anne recently where her camera stand broke mid-class, and she
was a trooper.
She was perfect. She just propped it up on a glass and kept on going. I think, you know, those kinds of things, they can put you off your game. So it's good to know that you're working with instructors who have that depth of knowledge, that they can talk about what they're talking about without even, you know, half of their brain can be saying, I've got to fix this water glass problem or a camera problem. And the other half of their brain is saying, I also have to explain how to pick up stitches along a neckline or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ann Budd is doing top-down socks. And this is a great class because you're going to start with a sock, you're going to work it down to the heel, you're going to do a heel flap.
I like top-down.
Kitchener stitch on the toe.
Way.
Yeah. They fit nicely, don't they?
I know a lot of people say, do them toe up and you'll never worry about running out of yarn. I never worry about running out of yarn anymore.
No, you just buy a big ball.
Yeah. And I know that I can always do my toes in something else. That doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, just like this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, this is a classic sock pattern too. You start at the cuff, work your way down to the toe. You have this great heel flap in here. So Anne's going to teach you how to do these kinds of socks, and you don't need a pattern either.
Will Anne talk about doing something reinforcing along the bottom of the
That's not
foot?
part of this class, but
she might have suggestions.
Well, Kate Atherley is really the person to talk to about that. We have Kate coming up doing, I don't have it on my list here because it's coming up later in 2023, but she does a class called Custom Fit Socks. And in that, she'll tell you how to adjust your socks to fit any size foot. But those are great questions for her. She loves to talk about reinforcing.
Oh, good.
And I have another new class coming up with her called A Better Afterthought Heel. And again, it's in the new year, so I don't have it on my list. But I will put a link in the show notes to where you can go to see all the classes.
Because, you know, I like knitting socks, but I you know, and I'm not too crazy about mending them, although I will.
Yeah.
I'll learn how to mend. But, you know, if you could reinforce that, there's only one spot in my sock that seems to wear out, you know? And I think if that reinforcing ran all the way down the bottom, it would be wonderful.
Yep. And so, I mean, you could ask Anne that question in this class, although that's not really part of the outline. But Anne's really good at answering questions. But Kate, I think when it comes to doing things to your sock pattern to make them better in any kind of way. Kate Atherley's kind of our go-to person on those questions.
Look out, Kate, here I come.
And she has a class, now this is really interesting. She has a class coming up called The Good, the Bad, and the Pooling.
Oh.
And this is about working with hand-painted yarns. So for example, this one, right?
Yeah.
How do you know what that's going to look like? Can you know what it's going to look like before you work it up into your pattern? And is that the look that you're going for? You know, and what can you do with hand-painted yarns to...
Will she talk about stacking?
She, I think if you ask her, she probably will. We put that under the pooling segment of the thing. This is going to be a 2-hour class, and Kate often delivers in a lecture style. So if you have questions for Kate, you can always send me an email. My email address is on the bottom of every workshop description. And so Barb, you could send me an email and say, you know,
doing that right now.
Could Kate talk to us about stacking? I'm sure she would. Yeah. This is the beauty of online classes.
And the challenge for instructors with having 2 yarn shop owners as class participants. They're going to get some good questions.
We have a friend in Washington, Vancouver, Washington,
Jeannie?
USA, who always likes to ask about jogless jogs in color striping.
Yes.
And so Kate just did a class on that recently, and I just, you know, so it's funny, hey, you know how the same questions come up over and over again. And with Barb, it's, you know, stacking. And mohair. Can I use mohair in that? The answer is yes, Barb. A mohair is also a trick for reinforcing your socks. Anyway, that's kind of what's coming up on the short term. I just wanted to give you...
That's it?
Yeah, I just did we don't have as many classes in December as we might otherwise have because of the holidays. We want to give everybody's busy. So we do have some classes early in December, and they're kind of project focused. So if you want to combine a class with having something completed that you could potentially give to somebody else, that's what we do in December. And then in January, we look at more
winter things.
Yeah, and sort of knowledge-based things. So again, I think giving somebody the gift of a class in January, February, or March is a great way to give them, you know, a special gift. It's hard to buy gifts for knitters.
It is.
You know, we're kind of fussy about yarns and needles. And I was going through my needle collection the other day, and I have a lot. So, you know, nobody really needs to give me needles, but a class where I can use those needles.
Yeah, or a kit. You know, kits are really fun too, because then you've got everything sort of like the pattern suggestion, the yarn, all the right amounts that you need.
Yeah. I did have a customer come the other day, and she was worried about purchasing a gnome kit because it didn't have the pattern in it. And she said, I really like to have everything in one package. And I said to her, no problem. You know, let's look at the gnome patterns. So we'll look at Sarah Shearer's patterns together. You pick the one that you like, and we'll bundle it up in your kit. We can do that. We can purchase the pattern on Ravelry for you. We can even print it and put it in your kit. So if you see something online and you have any kind of questions about what's included or, you know, how to get the pattern, you just send us an email and we're happy to help you out.
Yeah.
All right, Barb, I think we have some serious making to do now.
I know. We were actually supposed to knit. And I've been waiting and waiting.
All right, well, let's get to it. Have a great December, everybody. We're going to come back to you at the end of the month with a special Christmas edition.
Yes.
So subscribe.
I'll make Cynthia put on the ho, ho, ho hat.
Every
year. You
won't
want to miss that.
Every year. I'll have some more of that gingerbread coffee enhancer first. Come back and join us at the end of the year. I just wanted to let you know that if you subscribe to our channel, you will get notification when we publish any new videos. So it's kind of handy to know that something has just gone public on our website, or on our channel. All right.
Now she's doing it.
Have a great month, everybody. We'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye. So, Barb, in a previous Advent box, Ann Budd made these gorgeous little mini tams, the pattern. she made a pattern for us
Yeah.
using hat trick. And so this year she sent us a garland of these mini tams, and you've put them on our wreath here. And they were all done in hat trick, and the pattern's coming out. I'll put a link to the pattern, and Bud is publishing the pattern. But we thought we'd show you these. What a nice job you did putting them on the wreath.
Aren't they cute?
They're so adorable. So they're just, you start at the bottom of the tam, you work a little bit of ribbing, and then you do this little snowflake pattern on top. And she's filled them with, oh, I thought she filled them with little circles of cardboard, but she hasn't.
No.
They just blocked out perfectly.
Yeah.
I remember last year, Barb, I blocked mine on the bottom of a wine glass. I
Yes.
just turned it upside down and put them on the bottom.
Well, they'd make a perfect coaster too, wouldn't they?
Yeah, yeah, they're so lovely. So we wanted to let you know about this new pattern from Anne using hat trick. If you have any little bits of fingering weight yarn left over, this is a perfect addition to a festive display.
Yes.
Yeah.
They'd
yeah.
look great on the fireplace mantle too, wouldn't
Oh,
they?
adorable.
Little tams.
Yes.
Cute.
Yes. I might have to take them home and hang them in my window.
There you go.